So welcome to CTS Gifting Group. This is video number 2. But before I proceed, I trust that you have already absorbed the information from video number 1. And if not, I really encourage you to do so because it is important for us here at CTS and our organization that our members have the right mindset and expectations. Understanding that we want to build an organization of quality that lasts. Not I go try a thing and see if it works, fingers crossed. So please ensure you absorb the information from video 1 before you proceed to this video, or even if you watch this video, go back and watch part 1 as well. Alright, let's continue. We're going to dig deeper into the boards and how we work here at CTS. We're going to cover administration, rules, strategy, suggestions, and whatever other questions that may pop up. So the first board that you're going to see is called the springboard. But remember, as we spoke about in part 1, there are 5 boards and each one of them are standalone, meaning that you could enter any board at any point you choose. Right? This springboard is a starter board, for people that they don't have any disposable cash or income where they could jump into, say, a 3K board or a 10K board that have a higher gifting amount, or for even people who are skeptical and they want to see how the program works before they start. So it have the springboard or the launch pad just to start you off. Right, and as you can see here, the gift for this board is $50. Now over to the left where you see this picture here, it might seem a bit overwhelming, but it's not. I'll break it down for you. Alright, so we have R1 to R7, R1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is what we call the core 7, and these are the 7 receivers. Alright, these are the people that would be receiving gifts on this particular board. And the G's are the gifters. So R for receivers, G for gifter. And we have from G1 all the way up to G56. And as you can see over here, we have 7 receivers in the core 7. And we have 56 gifters from G1 to G56. As a gifter, you gift $50. As a receiver, you are gifted $400. Alright. It's color coded as well. So for example, you'll see R2 here. R2 is written in red, and you will see G9 to G16. That labeling is also in red. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 8 members here will be where R2 will get their gift from. Now we have R and G and all these labels here, but in reality it will be names. Right? These letters and numbers are just placed here for labeling purposes. So it will have a name like, say, Sally. Sally would receive her gifts from Ben, John, Josh, Sterling, Mary, Lou, Sue, and Mindy. Just for example. As you can see, R1, look for the color code. So this will just label and give you a clear point of view as to where the gifts come from, who receives gifts from who. However, no gifts are given until the board is filled. Alright, when your name is entered on a board, it is really a promise to pay. You're not going to pay promise to gift rather. You're not going to gift as soon as your name is placed on a board. Alright, when the board is filled, admin will break it apart and give a listing as to who will gift who and how to contact that person to receive their gift, to give them their gift and whatnot. So this is how the board is labeled. Alright, so as a gifter you gift 50, as a receiver you are gifted 400. You pay an administration fee of $100, so the net gift is $300. Alright, and the board expiration time is 1 week. Now board expiration, no, even though a week has expired, admin will come in and chat with the group and ask, do you want an extension? And give an extension if the group decides that yes, they want an extension. Reason being, in other programs, boards tend to stop growing, and they may freeze or stall. And in our organization, we don't want to just have boards stalled and left there and people just hanging in the dangling, So we designed a method where, okay, boards will expire, and after it expire, they can get an extension, and if that extension is reached, then we enter into another phase where we work towards giving the core members, the core receivers here, R1 to R7, we have a method developed where they can receive back the gift or the amount that they gifted. For example, on this board it's $50. So if for some reason this board stalls and it's not growing, instead of leaving it there to just fade away and everybody walk away and say, well, it didn't work out, we have a method where you could get back your $50 gifted. Alright, I'll talk about that a bit later on. So the expiration, each board have their own expiration time. Alright, for the $50 board or the spring board, it's 1 week. And as I said, when the week expires, if it's not filled, we could get an extension and we work from there. Up to the point where if it's really not growing, we enter it into the next phase that I spoke about before, where we work towards getting you back your $50 gift. And that applies to the receivers, because the receivers are the ones on the board that would have gifted already. The G's, the gifters, they are the ones whose names are on the board but they have not gifted as yet. So this is the springboard or the launch pad that will take you into other boards if you choose. When you're a receiver on this board and you receive your gift, $400 or $300 net, you can decide to do what you want. You could keep your $300 and move on, walk away with your $300, or you could regift into another springboard, multiple times if you choose. Or what we hope members do is that they upgrade and move on to another board or a higher board. So the board after this is 1K, right? And the gift for a 1K board is $160. 1K board of $160. That's what you gift. Again, on this board we have 7 core members who are receivers, R1 to R7, and we have 56 gifters from G1 to G56. And as a gifter, you gift $160. Now before, on the springboard, you have $300 net, $300 in hand. So you could upgrade to this board for $160 if you choose, and you would still have $140 remain. Out of that $140, you could keep it, or you could gift into another $50 board if you choose, another springboard. So you could be on more than one board at the same time, and yes, you could have more than one position on a board as well, but there's a strategy and requirements for that, so you'll reach there eventually, but the option is there. So for the 1K board, as I said, the gift is $160. As a receiver, you are gifted $1,280, hence the 1K board. 1K means 1,000. You pay the administration fee of $100, and the net gift is $1,180. Now, if you minus your originals $160 as well from this one's $1,180, you'll remain with $1,040 in hand. So that's why we call it a 1K board, because when you minus the administration fee and you even take back all the original $160 you gifted, you have a little over $1,000 in hand. Alright, and the expiration of this 1K board is 2 weeks. Again, if 2 weeks reach and the board isn't filled, you can get an extension, and after that extension, if it still isn't full, then we move into the phase where we work towards getting the receivers, the core members, back their original $160 gift. Alright, so we don't want it to be that people lose in our organization, which is why we came up with a pretty brilliant plan, I would say, that could benefit our members. Alright, after the 1K board, now you have 1180 in hand. Remember that. We're moving on to the 3K board, so you could upgrade from the 1K board to the 3K board if you choose to. As I said before, nothing is it's not mandatory for you to upgrade. You could leave with your $1,180 in hand. You could gift in multiple boards. You could gift in the 50K board, the spring board. You could gift in the 1K board again. You could gift or upgrade it to the 3K board. It's entirely your decision. You have freedom to do as you choose. Alright, so you have 1180 in hand on the 1K board. Let's go the 3K board. On this board is a bit smaller, where you have 5 receivers, 5 core members who receive, and you have 40 gifters. So as again you could see, it's color coded. So R3 would get from G9 to G16, that's where his gifts are coming from, and R5, their gifts are coming from G17 to G24. R1, his gifts will be coming from G1 to G8. Right, so we have 40 gifters and 5 receivers. On this board, the gift is $450. So from the 1K board, if it is that you came out of the 1K board, you'll have 1180 in hand, and you could easily come to the 3K board, which is $450, and still have money in hand. And on the 3K board, the gifters give $450. As a receiver, you are gifted $3,600. So you pay the admin fee of $100, and the net gift is $3,500 in hand. So if you got, let's say the gift in total is $3,600, when you minus the admin fee of $100, and if you choose and you take back out, say you want to put back in your pocket the $450 that you originally gifted, you still have over $3,000 in hand, right? And we designed it that way for a reason, so you could still have at least $3,000 in hand. Hence the 3K board. The board expiration for the 3K board is 3 weeks, and the same applies. If it's not filled in 3 weeks, you could get an extension, and after that, if it's not filled, we move into the next phase, where we work on getting the receivers, the core members, back their gifts, the original $450 gift given. So you have $3,500 in hand. Again, you could walk away and keep your $3,500. You could gift in multiple boards. You could re-enter in a 3K board more than once if you choose to. The options are there, and I just want to get the point across that the freedom is yours to choose to do what you want. There is no mandatory, like for example, in the multi-tiered system, when you get this $3,500 in hand, or the 36 rather, you probably have to give a re-gift half or more of that, and we don't like that. That's just one of the reasons we didn't choose that option of having a multi-tiered system. But if you watch video 1, you will see other reasons as to why we don't do it. Okay, so 3K board, you have $3,500 in hand. After the 3K, there's a 10K. And the 10K board, it's the same size as a 3K board, where you have 5 core members, 5 receivers, and you have 40 gifters. Now, as a gifter, you gift $1,450, and as a receiver, you are gifted $11,600. You pay the admin fee of $100, and you have a net gift of $11,500 in hand to do as you choose. Okay, and the board expiration time for this is 3 weeks as well. And the same applies. After 3 weeks, admin will chat with you all, see what do you want an extension. Yes, we extend. If it still isn't closed off or filled, we move into the other phase that we speak about, where we work towards getting the core members their gifts back. And you have $11,500 cash in hand here. Again, if you minus the $1,450, you remain with $10,000, probably $50 cash in hand, hence the 10K board. Alright, after the 10K is the 30K. This is the final and largest board that we have, gifting board, where it's even smaller, where we have 3 core members, or 3 receivers rather, and 24 gifters. Alright, so R1, R2, R3, and we have G1 to G24. As a gifter, you gift 4,300. If you remember, in the previous board, if it is that it came from the 10K board, you will have 11,500 in hand. So the 30K board, the gift on that board is 4,300. And as a receiver, so if you minus this 4,300 from the 11,500 you have before, you still remain with a significant amount of cash in hand. So our desire is to have members to upgrade from, let's say, the springboard, if they choose, to upgrade to reach the 30K board, if they choose, of course, but the option is there. So on this board, the 30K board, as a receiver, you are gifted $34,400, and you pay the administration fee of $100, and the net gift is $34,300 in hand. Again, if you notice here, that is $34,300 net. If you minus the original $4,300, you have $30,000 in hand. And that's right. So if you want to put back the $4,300 in your pocket or wherever it came from, you have $30,000 extra in hand. Now this board does not have an expiration time. However, after 1 month, admin will have a group assessment and decide how we could move forward. Okay. I really hope that it should be a bit straightforward, as you could always pause and rewind and re-listen to it. What might be most confusing is how the charts over here look, or the boards over here might look, but in time it will really become simple and easy to understand. Alright, the numbers are just labels for positions, and they have meaning as well, and we will reach to that part in a bit. So from these 5 boards, starting with the springboard, we just recap quickly the springboard, which is a $50 gift, and then there's the 1K board, the 3K board, 10K board, and finally the 30K board. That's the 5 boards that we have in our organization, which are standalone. You could enter any board at any time you choose to, or you could enter from the lowest and upgrade to the highest if you choose to, or you could stay on one level. Say the 3K board is fine with you, and you just keep regifting in that 3K level. Of course you could do that. There's not a problem in that at all. You could even have multiple positions at the 3K level and receiving gifts from there. So it's your choice. The freedom is yours. We give you the freedom, our members. So moving on.